Does your life unfold in predictable chapters? Beyond the obvious milestones, have you sensed a deeper, more subtle rhythm, a shift in your internal landscape or external circumstances occurring roughly every 7 years? It's an idea whispered across cultures and centuries, a potential hidden code governing human development. This isn't merely folklore. Consider the sheer breadth of disciplines hinting at similar underlying patterns. We find echoes in the constant renewal of our cells, the stages outlined by developmental psychologists, the cosmic timing suggested by astrologers, the soul's journey mapped by spiritual thinkers like Steiner, and even the structural phases of adult life charted by sociologists. Could these disparate fields be observing the same fundamental cadence of existence from different vantage points? Are we unknowingly marching to a 7-year beat? Today, we embark on an intellectual expedition examining 9 distinct perspectives, from hard science to esoteric wisdom, seeking to understand this persistent pattern. Our mission is to decode whether these 7-year cycles are a verifiable phenomenon and how recognizing them might illuminate your own past, present, and future. Let's begin with the tangible, our biology. While there's no single unified 7-year cycle theory in mainstream biology, examining developmental timelines reveals intriguing correlations. The popular notion that every cell in your body is replaced every 7 years is an oversimplification, yet rooted in the reality of continuous cellular turnover. Skin cells replace themselves every few weeks, red blood cells roughly every 4 months, but bone cells take about 10 years for a complete remodeling. This constant, albeit varied renewal signifies that our physical form is perpetually in flux, a gradual rebuilding that underpins physiological change. More concretely, look at key developmental milestones often falling near 7-year marks. Around age 7, children typically lose their primary teeth, coinciding with cognitive shifts. Age 14 often marks the height of pubertal hormonal surges, fundamentally altering the body and brain. Physical maturation generally concludes around age 21. Later, significant endocrine system adjustments associated with perimenopause and andropause frequently intensify in the 49 to 56 age range, corresponding to the 7th cycle. These aren't arbitrary points, they represent profound biological restructuring, providing a physical framework that resonates with the concept of life unfolding in distinct phases. Moving from the purely physical, we encounter one of the most explicit frameworks for 7-year cycles, Anthroposophy, founded by Steiner. Steiner proposed that human development progresses through distinct 7-year stages, or septennials, marked by the sequential birth or full activation of subtle, non-physical bodies. From birth to age 7, the focus is on the development and consolidation of the physical body, driven by imitation and the strengthening of the will. Around age 7, Steiner posited the birth of the etheric or life body, responsible for growth, memory, and temperament. This period, from 7 to 14, is characterized by the flourishing of imagination and feeling. The primary mode of learning shifts from imitation to following authority guided by empathy. Then, around age 14, the astral or soul body awakens, bringing the capacity for independent judgment, abstract thought, and the turbulent emotional experiences of adolescence, lasting until age 21. Following this, from 21 to 28, the sentient soul develops, marking the arrival of the unique individual I or ego, capable of self-reflection and finding its place in the world. Steiner's later stages involve the development of progressively more refined aspects of the soul and spirit. This model provides a structured, spiritually infused map where 7 years represent the fundamental rhythm of the soul and spirit unfolding within the physical form, each stage bringing new capacities and developmental tasks. Parallel to Steiner's spiritual map, developmental psychology offers its own insights, notably through Erikson's influential theory of psychosocial development. While not explicitly structured around 7-year intervals, Erikson's 8 stages, defined by central psychosocial conflicts or tasks, frequently show critical transitions aligning remarkably close to the 7-year multiples. The stage of industry versus inferiority, where children develop competence and navigate social comparison, typically spans ages 6 to 12, encompassing the crucial 7th year transition. Following this, the pivotal stage of identity versus role confusion dominates adolescence, often peaking intensely around age 14 and continuing its influence towards 21, as individuals grapple with who am I and their place in society. Early adulthood brings the challenge of intimacy versus isolation, a key focus in the period leading up to age 28, involving the formation of deep, committed relationships. Later, generativity versus stagnation, the drive to contribute to the next generation through work, family, or mentorship, becomes central during midlife, significantly impacting the years around 35, 42, and beyond. Erikson's framework highlights how psychological development involves navigating specific crises and integrating new capacities at distinct life phases. These turning points, marked by shifts in focus and social challenges, resonate strongly with the underlying rhythm suggested by the 7-year cycle concept, providing a psychological echo to these recurring transitions. Venturing into cosmic perspectives, astrology offers a compelling framework centered on planetary cycles, particularly that of Saturn. Known as the planet of structure, limitation, responsibility, lessons, and maturity, Saturn takes approximately 29.5 years to complete one orbit through the zodiac and return to its position at the time of one's birth, an event known as the Saturn return. However, critical points within this larger cycle occur roughly every 7 years, marking significant developmental pressure points. Around age 7, individuals experience the first opening square of Saturn to its natal position. Astrologically, squares represent tension, challenge, and the need for action, correlating with the child's entry into more structured schooling and societal expectations. Around age 14 comes the Saturn opposition, a time of heightened awareness, confrontation, and potentially rebellion, aligning with adolescence and the push for independence. Age 21 features the closing square, demanding integration, mastery, and often career decisions or commitments. The first Saturn return itself, around age 28 to 30, signifies a major culmination, a reality check, and the true entry into adulthood, often accompanied by significant life changes. This pattern repeats: squares around 36 and 51, opposition around 44, and the second Saturn return near age 58 to 60, each marking further stages of maturation, responsibility, and reckoning with life's structures. Astrology, therefore, posits a celestial clock whose 7-year increments punctuate our lives with distinct developmental prompts and reality checks. Delving deeper into the psyche, Carl Jung's analytical psychology offers profound insights, particularly regarding the concept of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming psychologically whole. Jung emphasized a significant shift occurring around midlife, typically between ages 35 and 42, coinciding with the 5th and 6th 7-year cycles. He observed that the first half of life often focuses on ego development, adaptation to the external world, establishing a career, family, and social persona. However, the second half necessitates an inward turn, a confrontation with the unlived parts of oneself. This involves acknowledging the shadow, the repressed or unrecognized aspects of the personality, and integrating the anima, the inner feminine in men, or animus, the inner masculine in women. While Jung didn't frame individuation in rigid 7-year stages, he saw it as a dynamic, often cyclical process. Key psychological themes, unresolved conflicts, or neglected archetypal energies might resurface at different life junctures, demanding attention and integration, potentially aligning with these cyclical rhythms. The midlife transition, often experienced as a crisis, becomes a crucial period for reevaluating life's meaning, moving beyond societal expectations, and connecting with the deeper self. Jung's perspective highlights life unfolding in major phases, punctuated by calls for profound psychic integration, especially potent around the midlife point, offering a depth psychology lens on these recurring life chapters. Shifting our focus to Eastern spirituality and energy medicine, the chakra system provides another compelling model for understanding developmental unfolding. Chakras are considered centers of subtle energy within the body, each governing specific psychological, emotional, and physiological functions. While various interpretations exist, some prominent theories within yogic and New Age traditions suggest that these energy centers become particularly active or undergo significant development during specific life phases, often loosely correlated with 7-year periods. The lower chakras, the root, Muladhara, associated with grounding and safety, and the sacral, Svadhisthana, linked to emotions and creativity, are often seen as foundational, their development emphasized from birth through the first 2 cycles, ages 0 to 14. The solar plexus chakra, Manipura, governing identity and personal power, is often linked to adolescence and early adulthood, 14 to 21. The heart chakra, Anahata, central to love, compassion, and connection, is frequently associated with the period of forming deeper relationships, 21 to 28. Subsequently, the throat chakra, Vishuddha, related to communication and self-expression, might be a focus from 28 to 35. The third eye chakra, Ajna, connected to intuition and insight, is often linked to the midlife period, 35 to 42. Finally, the crown chakra, Sahasrara, representing spirituality and connection to the divine, is seen as developing more fully from age 42 onwards. This perspective views life's progression as stages of energetic and psycho-spiritual maturation, with different facets of our being taking center stage in roughly 7-year phases. Returning to a more sociological and psychological perspective, Daniel Levinson's research on adult development offers the concept of the life structure. Based initially on studies of men and later expanded, Levinson proposed that adult life unfolds through alternating periods of stability and transition. The life structure refers to the underlying pattern or design of a person's life at any given time, encompassing key relationships, work, family, and lifestyle choices. Levinson identified structure-building periods, where individuals make commitments and consolidate their choices, creating a stable framework. Examples include entering the adult world, roughly ages 22 to 28, and settling down, ages 33 to 40. These stable phases are inevitably followed by transitional periods, typically lasting 4 to 5 years, where the existing life structure is questioned, reevaluated, and potentially significantly altered. Key transitions include the age 30 transition, ages 28 to 33, and the major midlife transition, ages 40 to 45. While Levinson's phases aren't precisely 7 years long, the overall pattern involves building a structure for roughly 7 to 10 years, hitting a peak, entering a questioning transition, and then beginning to build anew. Notably, the crucial transitional periods frequently commence or culminate near the 7-year multiples, ages 28, 35, 42, 45. Levinson's work underscores how we actively construct and reconstruct our lives in distinct phases, with predictable periods of questioning and change, often aligning with the milestones suggested by the 7-year cycle concept. Beyond observable science and psychology, the concept of 7-year cycles finds deep resonance in the realms of numerology and esoteric symbolism. The number 7 holds a uniquely powerful position across countless mystical, religious, and spiritual traditions worldwide. It is widely associated with completion, perfection, introspection, spiritual awakening, analysis, and the successful integration of disparate parts. Consider its prevalence: the 7 days of creation in Genesis, the 7 classical planets known to antiquity, the 7 deadly sins and 7 heavenly virtues in Christianity, the 7 main chakras in Hinduism, the 7 notes in a diatonic musical scale, the 7 colors of the visible spectrum. From a numerological standpoint, life itself can be viewed as unfolding in a series of 7-year chapters. Each cycle is believed to carry the energetic signature or developmental theme associated with the number 7, perhaps periods demanding deeper introspection, learning, spiritual seeking, critical analysis, or the completion of a particular phase before moving to the next. This perspective suggests the 7-year rhythm isn't merely a biological artifact or psychological construct, but potentially reflects a fundamental numerical pattern, a sacred geometry woven into the fabric of time and human experience. It posits that our lives resonate with this mystical frequency, guiding our growth through divinely or cosmically ordained stages. Finally, let's acknowledge the deep historical roots and enduring folk wisdom surrounding the 7-year cycle. While not codified as a formal scientific theory until more recent explorations like Steiner's or Levinson's, the observation that life unfolds in roughly 7-year increments is ancient. Some historians point to potential, though often debated, references in the writings of early Greek thinkers. The Athenian statesman Solon, for example, is sometimes cited as dividing life into 10 periods of 7 years each. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, also categorized life stages, with some interpretations suggesting alignment with 7-year multiples. Beyond specific attributions, the idea has persisted in various forms of folklore and traditional sayings across different cultures, passed down through generations. Why such enduring resonance? Perhaps it reflects easily observable, significant developmental shifts: the loss of baby teeth around 7, the onset of puberty around 14, the perceived settling into adulthood around 21, the notable midlife changes, which were intuitively grouped into this memorable numerical pattern long before the advent of detailed biological or psychological mapping. This historical and cultural persistence suggests a long-standing human intuition, a piece of collective wisdom recognizing discernible rhythms in the trajectory of a human life, even without the sophisticated frameworks we have today. The 7-year cycle isn't just a modern concept, it's an echo from our shared past. We've journeyed through 9 distinct lenses: the cellular dance of biology, Steiner's unfolding soul, Erikson's psychological stages, Saturn's cosmic timing, Jung's deep individuation, the energetic chakras, Levinson's life structures, the mystical number 7, and enduring folk wisdom. Each offers a unique vocabulary, a different map for navigating the territory of a human life. Notice the resonances, how the challenges Erikson describes align with Saturn's pressure points, how Steiner's spiritual milestones echo biological shifts, how Jung's midlife focus mirrors transitions identified by Levinson. It's crucial to remember these are models, frameworks for understanding, not deterministic prisons. Your individual path is unique, shaped by countless personal factors. Life's complexity transcends any single theory. However, recognizing these potential underlying rhythms, these 7-year pulses, can be profoundly empowering. They offer tools for reflection. Which perspective resonated most strongly with your own experiences? Can you identify past transitions aligning with these cycles? How might understanding these potential patterns help you navigate current challenges or anticipate future shifts with greater awareness, intention, and perhaps even grace? Instead of viewing life as a series of disconnected events, perhaps we can see it as a meaningful journey with an inherent, albeit complex, rhythm. Understanding this rhythm from whichever angle speaks to you is a step towards living more consciously. Which theory surprised you the most, or offered a new way to view your own life's chapters? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We've journeyed through 9 distinct lenses illuminating the intriguing phenomenon of the 7-year cycle. The biological echoes of cellular change and developmental leaps, Steiner's anthroposophical map of unfolding subtle bodies, Erikson's psychological staircase of psychosocial crises, astrology's cosmic clockwork driven by Saturn's cycles, Jung's depth perspective on individuation and the midlife turn, the chakra system's energetic unfolding, Levinson's sociological view of building and rebuilding life structures, the mystical and numerological significance of the number 7, and the ancient echoes found in history and folk wisdom. Each perspective offers a unique vocabulary and framework, yet remarkably, they often seem to point towards similar transitional periods and developmental themes occurring around the 7-year multiples. The intensity of identity formation around 14-21, the consolidation and reassessment around 28-35, the profound shifts of midlife around 42-49, these junctures emerge repeatedly across different models. It's crucial to remember these are models, maps, not rigid deterministic laws. Life's complexity far exceeds any single framework, and individual experiences, genetics, culture, and personal choices profoundly shape our unique paths. However, understanding these potential underlying rhythms, these recurring themes and challenges, can be incredibly empowering. By recognizing these patterns, perhaps reflected in your own life story, you gain tools for self-reflection. Which perspectives resonated most strongly with your experience? How might awareness of these potential cycles help you navigate current challenges with more understanding or anticipate future transitions with greater intention and grace? Ultimately, viewing life not as a series of random events, but as a meaningful journey with potential underlying patterns, whether biological, psychological, energetic, or cosmic, allows us to engage with our own unfolding narrative more consciously, transforming the hidden code into a source of wisdom for the path ahead.